What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes, and this is episode number 2 of The Breakdown. If you missed the first episode, there will be a link on the screen that'll take you to go check that out. In today's episode, we've got yet another clip sent in from Nepenthes, and it's the question of whether or not there's 90th minute scripting, or was it user error that caused the goal. The second clip is sent in from Vux Gaming, and we're going to be looking at the exact same thing. Vux said, I think there's scripting in FIFA, and it just worked out in my favor this time, but I'm going to go ahead, look at the clip, and see if his opponent did anything that would have caused Vux to get an easy goal in the 90th minute. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the first clip. Alright, this clip starts with Nep losing the ball somewhere around his opposition's 18-yard box. His opponent sees that it's the 89th minute at the top of the screen and decides that he wants to try to hit Nep up on one last-ditch counterattack. Currently, Nep's 3 center backs are in good position to cover his opposition's 2 strikers. The problem with the 3-5-2 is that you can take advantage of the wings. However, when the ball's played out wide to Robinho, a quick glance down at his stamina bar shows that he's going to be unable to take this all the way to the end line, especially with Kuba Blaszczykowski having far more stamina and far more sprint available. As this clip plays out, his opposition recognizes this fact and the fact that he's being closed down. He plays a desperation over-the-top through ball that Nep easily has covered. You can see Naldo charge up A to knock it back to Manuel Neuer. I spoke to Nep and he said that he wanted to head it back rather than pass it back on the ground. But Nep didn't have Naldo positioned properly to head it back. Naldo also deemed that he was in enough free space that an A pass back to the keeper would have been the easiest thing to do to keep possession. As you can see, Neuer comes out and Nep starts to charge up the X button to clear it. The X button is always going to be a risky clearance because it's going to lock on to one of your players if you have some sort of assisted passing. As you can see in the radar in the middle of the screen, Nep's 2 strikers are both in the middle of the field, and the opposition has an attacking player right in the way. Kevin Prince Boateng is the man for the opposition that's going to charge Manuel Neuer. Nep blasts the ball, and you can see at this point it's on a collision course for Kevin Prince Boateng. Now, there are many ways that this ball could have deflected, and it's a bit unlucky that it takes the following outcome. The ball hits Kevin Prince Boateng in the chest, goes over Manuel Neuer, and it gets nodded into the goal. Nep could have used the B button to clear it, which would have taken the most safe option to get the ball out of the back. He also could have passed it out wide with A to his right center back, and he also could have used the X button to clear it out at an angle rather than just straight forward. When you charge up X to do a clearance, you always run the risk of hitting an opposition's player, so you have to take into consideration where the players are on the pitch. If you think that this is just FIFA BS and it doesn't actually happen in real life, just ask Gareth Bale what happened when the keeper tried to lob him and he stuck out his right boot to knock it into the back of the net. Anyways, I wanted to say thank you to Nepenthes for allowing me to use both of his clips in the first 2 episodes in this series. I hope these tips are helping you out, but without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into the second clip of this episode. Alright guys, today's second clip got sent in to us from Vux Gaming. He's a small YouTuber and this is from one of his series. Marco Reus picks up the ball somewhere way out, and Vux decides he's going to let that one fly in the 89th minute. It hits the back of the net to bring the game to 1 apiece, so he needed that to tie him up. And some of you guys are going to say, well, that's outrageous, that's scripting right there, that shot should never have gone in. Well, that's not the case because you see these shots go all the time in all sorts of different goal montages all over YouTube, so that's not it. But this is the clip that he's talking about. I'm going to pause it right here. His opponent, having just been scored on in the 89th minute, decides it's the best plan of action to spam some skill moves and then throw a desperate ball over the top. Vux is in pretty darn good position and makes no mistake about knocking this right back to his keeper in what, after our first one, would seem like a pretty risky pass. But unlike the first one, he was in the right position to actually head it back rather than try to pass it back. Vux brings it forward, now hitting the 90th minute with 3 minutes of stoppage time, which should roughly be about 24 seconds of real time. He does an excellent job with Lucas Podolski of keeping possession. We're going to go ahead and pause it again right here. The main thing of note is that the player closest to Podolski right now is David Luiz, his opposition's right center back. We're going to take a look at where the other center back has positioned himself, which is just fine, on the closest attacking player. Now, Yaya Toure, his opposition's center defensive mid, has been forced to drop back into what would be a left center back what would be left center back is now forced into more of a right center back position. This allows Marco Reus to check to the ball for an easy and open pass that Yaya Toure is then going to have to press up on. As this clip plays out, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. He plays the ball across to Royce, and Yaya Toure, who's now turned into more of a left center back, is forced to come forward and attack the ball. Marco Reus has 2 options. 1, take Yaya Toure on, which he chooses, or 2, lay the ball off. He knows that if he gets in behind Yaya Toure at this point, he's going to be free on goal. But Yaya takes a pretty decent angle, but the angle that he takes means that if he takes the ball away, it's more than likely going to go right back to Vux's player. It does this indeed. I'm going to go ahead and pause this clip again right here and take a look at where the center backs have positioned themselves. You can see that David Luiz is doing everything that he can to get back into position and get goal side of the onrushing attacker. The other center back, however, is now caught in no man's land because Yaya Toure darted forward and didn't actually end up keeping the ball. He's got two options now to pass the ball. One to the striker at the bottom of the attacker at the bottom of the screen, or two to Marco Reus, who could be making a through run in on goal. As this clip plays out, you're going to see that he takes the option to play it to the player at the bottom of the screen. This means that his opponent now has an option, or one chance with the center back to make the right switch. He doesn't do this, and he chooses to guess for the other striker, Marco Reus. But this means that Marco Reus has been now released in free behind the center back for an easy header goal. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, David Luiz is still trying to catch up to the play, and this whole goal stemmed from him being drawn out of position somewhere near midfield with a nice bit of hold-up play from Vux's center forward, Lucas Podolski. Now, some may say it's scripting based on that lone tackle going back to Vux's player, but I think it's the otherwise. His defender made an error, and Vux was able to capitalize based on the positioning of his players. Should he have tried to take the man on with Marco Reus? Probably not, but he lucked out a little bit, and his right attacking mid, or right center defensive mid, was in the right spot to pick the ball up and play it back in to maximize David Luiz being out of position. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you for watching this episode of The Breakdown. If you did enjoy it, a like or thumbs up is always greatly appreciated. Also, go ahead and leave me a comment to let me know what you think. Any and all feedback is greatly appreciated, and if you'd like to tweet me, it's at AirJapesFIFA on Twitter. If you want to send in your clip, remember it's at AirJapesOnFIFA@gmail.com. Please do provide a description in the clip, as it does help me know exactly what I'm looking for or what you claim to be the FIFA BS in the clip. Thank you again for watching. Other than that, my name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.